Hey guys, like many people, I have heard what happened to Johnny Gaudreau and his brother Matthew, and I wish nothing but love and support to his friends, family, teammates, and fans of the Columbus Blue Jackets. It's definitely a difficult time in the hockey community, and like many people, I am just in complete shock and disarray, and I'm trying to take a few days to process it. So for the next day or two, please enjoy these bonus episodes because I do want to address the tragedy on this show, but I want to give it a couple days, let everyone share their thoughts, feelings on the matter because it is definitely a sickening event. And like I said, I will talk about it on the show, but like many people, I just need some time to think about it, gather my thoughts because I want to address it in the best way I possibly can. And I also saw what happened on social media regarding a journalist putting that information out about his death before it became official. And that also made me sick to my stomach. So I don't want people to think that I'm just ignoring the situation. I will talk about it, but I just need some time. So in the meantime, please enjoy these bonus episodes to give you some sort of content, and then I will talk about it on a future date. And once again, my thoughts, prayers, and love go out to the Gaudreau family, their friends, their family, the Blue Jackets organization, their fans. This is definitely a sickening event, and it's a lot to process. And I'm right now shocked beyond belief. But just give me some time and some patience while I try to collect myself. So in the meantime, let's continue with today's episode. And I apologize if it seems like I'm rambling on. Like I said, just trying to tell you guys where my headspace is at. So enjoy these bonus episodes. And for Johnny Gaudreau, for Matthew Gaudreau, may you rest in everlasting peace.
You're Locked On Devils, your daily podcast on the New Jersey Devils, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Hi, this is Bryce Salvador, and you're Locked On Devils with Trey Matthews.
Scores! Oh, Steven stepped up, nailed it. Brodor's got the puck. What a shot. The Devils win the Stanley Cup.
We're excited to have him join us here in New Jersey. As a reminder to media, send me a note in the chat, and I'll add your question to the queue. We'll lead off with Ryan Novozinski and J.com.
Hey, Brett, congratulations, man.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
So, I mean, you talked about it a little bit, obviously chaotic day, but can you kind of walk us through what it was like for you, and maybe scene set the moment where, okay, pen is to paper and finally figured this out?
Yeah. Like I said, it's just a crazy day. At the end of the day, I did always know I wanted to end up here. I love my time as a Cane, and sometimes, just the nature of the business, it doesn't work out. But playing close to home for me is something, really important to me. To be 45 minutes from the Prudential Center is it's a dream come true. I played my my youth hockey in Hackensack, so I can't really ask for anything more.
What can you tell us about, just your excitement level to rejoin some of your former teammates too? Obviously, Dougie being there, and Eric Holla, and now Nathan is joining too.
Yeah, got a great FaceTime from Nace probably a few hours ago now, telling me he's signing too, so that's awesome. Real close with him, but I'll know the caliber of player Dougie is. Super gifted. Halsey's the same way. Those are guys that really annoying to play against, and it's nice to be on their side again.
And with the team, with everything going the way that it did last year for this Devils team, especially on the defensive end, I mean, just how motivated are you to step in this unit and I guess really turn things around there?
Yeah, just anxious and excited to get going, to be honest. I know how good this team is. Played them in the playoffs 2 years ago. They have some high end forwards, things, guys, you can't just teach their skill. It's just they're young, and it's just the future is bright with this team. And honestly, I don't really know. Obviously, I try to focus on the Canes last year. I don't really know what happened with the Devils, but very surprised they didn't make the playoffs. So obviously, I wouldn't have signed anywhere that I didn't think had a chance to win a cup.
Last one for me. I mean, you're from Terrytown, New York. Or did you grow up a Rangers fan? And obviously you've put all that way in the past now, huh?
Yeah, that I did. That changed drastically over the years.
Thanks, Brett. Appreciate it, man.
Yep.
Thanks, Ryan. Our next question is going to Mike Morial, NHL.com.
Thanks, Pete. Welcome, Brett. Welcome to Jersey.
Thank you.
Hey, Brett, did you play at the Ice House? You played at the Ice House, right?
I did. Yep. I played at the Ice House for a long time. So
Yeah. So I know you touched on it a little bit there with Ryan, but how difficult a decision was this, Brett, after 9 seasons with the Hurricanes?
yeah, it was tough. Very tough decision for my family and my wife and I. But ultimately, I had a great run there. So many good memories, but the thought of being a New Jersey Devil it's hard to describe and hard to put into words how special it is to me.
And did you play alongside Dougie Hamilton on occasion in Carolina?
I think we played a little bit, not too much. We're both righties. He usually played with Jacob Slavin, but we would have shifts here and there.
And what were some of the things, or I guess what are some of the things that you appreciated most about Coach Rod Brindamore, and maybe things that he taught you both on and off the ice?
Yeah, so much respect for that guy, that's for sure. It was a tough conversation calling him yesterday and telling him I'm going to go to free agency and explore options. But have a lot to thank for him. Kind of changed that whole culture around in the Canes, and taught me how to be a better person and a nice hockey player. So he's a lifelong friend for sure.
And I'm curious, Brett, if you were paying attention to what Carolina was doing today and how different the team kind of looks now, do you still think Rod can rally that team despite their losses?
To be honest, I haven't really thought much about it. I've just been thinking about being a Devil, so that's where my mind's at, to be honest.
And one more for me, like when Tom Fitzgerald's been making a lot of moves, obviously, this offseason, to see a goalie like Jacob Markstrom come in, what does that mean?
It's amazing. Like I said, I wanted to go to a contender, and I saw that swayed me as well. Right, he's such a good goalie, and you can't win without an elite goaltender, in my opinion. And now we have one. So,
thanks, Brett.
Thank you.
Thanks, Mike. Our next question will go to Gabriel Trevino, NJ.com.
Hey, Brett. Seems like the free agency went pretty stress-free for you. You knew where you're going. Just talk about the negotiation process with Tom Fitzgerald and the Devils as a whole.
Yeah. Started out whenever it was at noon, and thankfully it kind of went smooth, to be honest. I wanted to be there. They wanted me, so it was a pretty smooth interaction between my agent and Tom.
I know you're dealing with an injury at the end of the season in the playoffs, trying to rush back. Just how has that been progressing so far?
Good. I'm about 3 weeks post surgery now, so it's getting better every day, and should be good to go by camp for sure.
You mentioned playing against this Devils team in the playoffs, and then last season missing the playoffs. So what do you think has changed since then, especially with those young defensemen? How do you think you can help their growth?
Yeah, I take a lot of pride in my defensive game. I think that's what has made me successful in this league. And obviously I've been through a lot with teams. I've been through playoffs. I've been through ups and downs. My first 3 years we weren't very good, so kind of know what it takes to be a good team and make the playoffs and win in the playoffs. So just trying to provide a stable presence back there and, do what I can to help the fellas win.
Thanks, Brett.
Yep.
Thanks, Gabriel. Next questions go to Amanda Stein, NewJerseyDevils.com.
Brett, you've mentioned a few times, you use the word special, how special it is to join this team. I know you sort of talked about it, but can you elaborate a little bit more about what you mean by that? Why it is so special to you, maybe other than being closer to home? What is that feeling?
Yeah, none. Location aside, I just, you look at the group that they have, Jack Hughes, Jesper Bratt, Nico Hischier, all these guys, like, it's not fun playing against them, to be honest. And God, it's tough seeing them flying up the wing and you defending them. So, you don't see that playing. I usually play against top guys my whole career, and those guys are cream of the crop, man. And it's that's why I'm so excited to just get going, because I think the sky's the limit for this team.
And what about, the young defensemen that are coming up through this system? And you'll really be relied on the way some other guys are to really be those mentor and partnership there. What do you think about, what Luke has been able to do, and also Shimon Nemitz coming up as well? I know you haven't been following the team that much, but I'm sure you know that they have that crop.
Yes, I've been learning more and more as the day's gone on. But Luke Hughes, great young player, super skilled. Actually, I do remember playing against him. He made a few plays. I was like, oh, that guy's pretty good. So same with Shimon Nemitz. So it's exciting to see them and hopefully help them grow their games. And obviously the older you get, I think you learn more things about yourself and you mature and whatnot. So they're only going to continue to get better, which is just going to add to this team.
Thanks very much.
Yep.
Thank you, Amanda. Next questions go to James Nichols, New Jersey Hockey Now.
Hey, Brett, welcome to New Jersey.
Thank you, James.
First one for me, you mentioned that coming to New Jersey was a dream, enjoying the Devils growing up. But what is it about this team that, it sounded like it was maybe your choice to go to free agency. What was it about the Devils that made you think, okay, I have a good chance about of winning a Stanley Cup here as opposed to where I was before?
It's just their talent level. To be honest, they kind of remind me a little bit of the Canes 4 or 5 years ago when we were trying to just grind into the playoffs, and we're a young, hungry team. And like I said, it starts with the forward group. I think the sky's the limit for those guys up front. And you bring in Markstrom, you have this young studs, and on the back end you have Dougie. You bring in Brendan Dillon. Like it just seems like a group that can win. And that's all I'm trying to do here. It'll be my 10th year next year. Obviously haven't won. So, I have to pick a place where I think I have a good chance to do that.
And you touched on Jacob Markstrom, you touched on Stefan Noesen coming to New Jersey as well. But when you heard about Brendan Dillon, what was your reaction there?
Loved it. Didn't play against him that much in, this year. He was in Winnipeg, but obviously I've played him over the years. He's big, he's mean. He's really good with the puck from what I remember. Also heard off the ice, he's a heck of a guy. I remember actually Brent Burns talking about him and how good of a teammate he is. So just adding to the group, and he's a great add for sure.
And lastly, I know you said, it's been busy. It's been a hectic time, but what does summer look like for you? Where will you be training, and will you be training with anybody notable?
Yeah, so I have a little apartment in Tarrytown where I grew up. I had been training with Ben Prentice in Stamford, Connecticut for, I think this is my 11th year now. We have a good group over there. Some notables, Shane Gostisbehere, Chris Kreider, Trevor Zegras, Jonathan Quick, Kevin Shattenkirk. So we got a good thing going.
Awesome. Thanks.
Yep. Thank you.
Thanks, James. Our next question go to Bill Spalding, MSG Networks.
Hey, Brett. James asked most of what I was going to ask there about the your off season and if you come back up this way. But I'm just curious, now that you are signed with a team that's so close, do you think you'll be spending some of your off season with some of the guys who train in New Jersey as well to get to know them or start that process?
For sure. So close. I could, it's only 45 minutes, so I'm sure I'll be shooting there, whenever. I don't know if guys are around. I've talked to a few guys, but once the skates start ramping up in the summer, I'm sure I'll be over there a bunch.
Were you? You said you grew up a Rangers fan, which obviously we'll let slide here. But did you go to games at the Prudential Center at all growing up? Like, do you remember, or even the old Meadowlands as a kid, going to some Devils home games? Yeah.
Yep, all the time. I thought it was like the coolest atmosphere ever. So, that's another thing. I also know how passionate the fans are. The fan base is awesome. It's not fun to be on the opposing side of it. So, I'm excited to get a Prudential Center, just hearing that crowd roar.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yep.
Thank you, Bill. Our next question go to Trey Matthews, Pucks and Pitchfork.
Thank you, Brett. Welcome to New Jersey once again. I only have one question. For people who might be unfamiliar, how would you describe your game specifically? What can Devils fans expect from you on a nightly basis?
Yeah, just I think I'm just a defensive-minded defenseman. I'll join the rush when I can, but I know my role. I take a lot of pride in playing against other teams' top lines and do my best to shut them down. So, I'm probably not going to wow you with these crazy plays, but just to provide a reliable, steady play on the back end is really my game.
Awesome. Thank you once again.
Yep.
Thank you, Cherry. Our last question will be a follow-up from Mike Morial, NHL.com.
Thanks, Pete. So, Brett, you talked just a little before about coming to a hungry team as you had a few years back in Carolina. But what to you are keys to continually becoming a Stanley Cup playoff qualifier?
Well, I mean, number one is you have to stay healthy. That's a huge challenge. Number two, I think you just have to trust the process, trust the system, embrace the grind. Obviously, I don't know. I know Sheldon Keefe's coming in. From what I heard, he's an amazing coach. Not sure what the culture is like in the locker room now, but I think culture is also a huge thing. You have to really believe in what you're doing, and I think that's the biggest thing I would say is belief. I mean, we had a lot of belief in our room in Carolina when we were trying to grind through the playoffs years back, and I think that's what we're gonna have to do with the Devils. I know for a fact that we're gonna have enough skill and talent to make the playoffs and compete for a Stanley Cup every year. So, yeah.
Perfect. Thanks, Brett.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone, for joining us. We're pleased to welcome Paul Cotter to the New Jersey Devils organization, who was acquired over the weekend during the NHL draft. Appreciate everyone jumping on a busy day here in New Jersey with development camp and the start of free agency. As a reminder, send me a note in the chat, and I'll add questions to the queue. We'll lead off with Ryan Novozinski of NJ.com.
Hey, Paul, how you doing?
Good, thanks.
Good, man. Just wondering, I mean, can you set the scene for us when you got traded, what was happening and kind of, when you got the call?
Yeah, I was actually on hole 12, so wasn't playing too well anyways, so it was a good way to end the round, but just got a call from Kelly McCrimmon with Vegas and mentioned that they just started a trade that I was in, I guess, and it was a quick whirlwind, and Fitzy, as everybody calls him, called me, and they were in the draft, so it was just kind of a quick, just wanted to be personable and say congrats and welcome, and then from there was calls to family members and friends and stuff, and so it was a pretty quick turnaround.
And to know that that the Devils are kind of looking for a player that brings the skill set that you have. I mean, how motivating is that? Going into this season, what's going on with your training and everything like that.
It's awesome. I mean, I think the cool thing is, obviously, Vegas drafted me and they saw something in me, and I think now that I've shown and progressed as a player that I can be in the NHL. The Devils have seen that, and for them to reach out and make a trade for me, to want me is awesome. I mean, you want to go where you're wanted, right? So for me, they've put the belief in me, and now it's time for me to give back. So I'm super pumped.
What score did you finish with in that golf match?
I didn't end up finishing. I think I was shaking the rest of the round. I was just flying around in the cart making calls. So hole 12 seems to be the hole for me. I got extension with Vegas on 12, hole in 1 and 12, and now the trade in 12. So might be skipping 12 for a while.
Thanks, Paul.
Yeah.
Thank you, Ryan. Our next question will go to Amanda Stein, NewJerseyDevil.com.
Hey, Paul, I'm just wondering, one of the things that Fitzy said was that he's looking, that bottom 6 role is really important in terms of taking this team to another level. He talked about skating, speed, and physicality. So I'm wondering, those 3 words, how central are they to who you are as a hockey player?
I think those 3 are perfect. I mean, those are great terms to use inside your game. I think one of my biggest assets is being able to be, versatile and being able to play. I mean, I can play first line, I can play fourth line, second, third. I can fit a lot of different roles. So whatever is needed of me, that's what I'll do. And I think my core game itself, being physical and puck possession and high energy on the bench, that'll always be there. And hopefully I can contribute to whatever line I'm on. So
at what point in your career, whether it's like NHL or beforehand, did you sort of see that in your own game, your ability to, be an adaptable player to contribute on all lines when necessary?
I think it was gradual over my career. Growing up, I was always the smallest player, and I had a lot of skill just from, before school, after school, playing with older kids, extra practices. I was in love with the game. So I practice all the time, and, guys hit their growth spurts a little bit, got taller and stronger. And for whatever reason, I stayed the same for a little bit. So I think I learned just to be able to, protect the pucks and get into little areas using my skill instead of size. And as a couple of summers went by, I started to get a little bit bigger and stronger. And it took me a while to realize that I actually am pretty strong, pretty big in the league. So I think just from combining both of those styles of play, it's made me be able to be versatile to use my skill when needed and use the physicality when needed.
And then finally, for me, you've had a couple days now to sort of settle with the news. I don't know how much you knew about, the team itself here in New Jersey, but I'm sure you've looked it up and sort of seen who's on the roster. A, did you know anyone beforehand? And B, what is exciting about the opportunity here and what, Fitzy is building?
Yeah, no, I mean, it's awesome. I know the Hughes brothers just from Michigan. So excited to have a familiar face there. Toffoli was there not too long ago, so him and his wife have been reaching out, telling me some good spots. Jonathan Quick isn't too far, so he reached out and just said, hey, if you need anything about Norway. So it's nice having all the support nearby. And the special part about what's being built there is, every guy on the team has already texted me, and it's been a day and a half. So I think that's just the type of group that we're going to have. Hopefully, is we're going to be a team, but also we're going to be brothers and a family. So I think that's the biggest thing you need for a team, is just that team camaraderie, and it seems like we're going to have it after everyone has already texted me personal texts, and so I'm super excited to get down there, and hopefully I can contribute to a way to get some cups for us.
Thanks very much. Appreciate it. See you soon.
Yeah.
Thank you, Amanda. I don't have any more questions currently in the queue. Is there anyone else that has a question for Paul? All right. I know today's a busy day. Paul, I appreciate you taking the time. Oh, one more for Ryan. Ryan, we'll go back to you to close it out. Go ahead, Ryan.
Paul, just curious. We saw you already interacting with some Devils fans on Twitter. Just kind of walk us through that. You sending that guy a jersey, huh?
Yeah. Well, obviously I'm excited to get out there because you can tell the fans are very spirited, and They care a lot about their hockey. So there's some good tweets when I got traded, some bad tweets when I got traded, and I try to stay off that stuff. But I was just kind of scrolling down, and there was somebody who just said, "Screw it, I'm going to get a Cotter jersey or something." So I thought it was cool, so I liked it. And he reached back out and tagged me and the Devils and was like, "Hey, how many retweets for a jersey?" So I didn't really think much of it. I was like, "Yeah, I might as well." And I'll be number 47. So I just said 47 with a fist emoji, and my phone didn't stop ringing for 2 hours. So hopefully that showed the fans that I'm ready to come in, and excited to be part of the New Jersey family. So that was awesome. I owe the guy a jersey now too.
Thanks, Paul.
Yeah.
Thanks, Ryan. Thank you, Paul. Thank you, everybody, for taking the time. We're excited to see Paul in New Jersey and meet some of the great fans. Have a great day, everybody.
Cheers, guys.